Hi, welcome to the Whiny Tech Guy. This is my first episode, so it may not be the greatest. Hopefully I'll learn as I go and it'll get better, but for right now this is the first time, and what I'm doing is I love technology. I follow technology. I'm not an expert on any one thing really. I don't dive that deep. I'm not a developer or an engineer. I've spent a career in software for several companies. I worked at WordPerfect back in the day, Novell, Microsoft, Adobe, some big companies like that. Worked especially in the last several years on a lot of web software, of course, as that's become more important. And I love to whine about different things that I see in the tech world, different products and issues and things that happen, and I decided I wanted to try out doing a weekly video vlog, whatever you call it. I don't even know what to call it, about things and the things that I whine about. I occasionally put things on Facebook and start conversations with friends. I used to have a blog that I would write things on. 3 people followed it, so that got kind of old. Anyway, today is episode 1. It's March 1st, 2012, and I hope to do this every Wednesday and get a library of videos and get better at it. And so here goes. First thing, I wrote some notes, so I might be looking down at my notes. The first thing I want to whine about today is the Samsung Galaxy One Note phone debacle, tablet, whatever they're calling it. I saw the first commercial of it on the Super Bowl a few weeks ago, and I laughed out loud because my first thought was, if Steve Jobs was still alive and saw that commercial, especially when they whipped out the pen or the the stylus, I could just see him laughing his ass off. What a crazy thing that is. In the weeks since then, I've seen a lot of people make fun of it, a lot of blog postings, whatever, stuff on Facebook, how funny this thing is. What is it? Is it a phone or a tablet? It's huge for a phone, and it's small for a tablet. I don't understand. Anyway, now I see the Samsung commercials on TV, and they're actually saying it's a phone and a tablet. They're actually marketing it that way. That surprised me. I think it's ridiculous. I think that they're trying to be unique with the stylus, bringing that back, the pen, excuse me, but I just don't think it's going to fly. I don't think they're going to sell a lot of them. It's just another goofy Android device in the sea of however many hundreds of Android phones and devices there are out there. You can't even keep track of them all. It's crazy. But that one, I can't wait till I see the first person with one holding it up to their ear, talking on it. Hello. I'm gonna laugh out loud right in their face, I think, or I'm gonna have a hard time not doing that. Anyway, I wanted to whine about that because that's just goofy. The next thing I wanted to whine about is Google and their cookie stealing. Talk about the cookie monster. Last week it came out that Google was circumventing Apple's default cookie protection on mobile Safari. I'm not sure if it was on Safari on the desktop or not too, but I know for sure it was on mobile Safari, and they were going behind the security to enable their tracking for their advertising purposes, and people were unaware of what was going on. Not that there's a lot of people that understand cookies and what's going on, but that was an affront to privacy, I think, and I can't believe that it's not being made a bigger deal out of this thing. I'm really upset. I don't like Google anyway. I think they're evil, despite their mantra, which was stupid, of don't be evil. But they're an advertising company, and they're doing everything they can to get data about what you and I do on the internet and even in our lives. The privacy change is coming out, I think, today, if I remember correctly, and they're basically telling everybody, hey, we're going to take all your information and use it so that we can make money. And I'm kind of upset that this cookie thing didn't go a little bit bigger. I think that if other companies like Apple or maybe even Microsoft had done a similar thing, that there would be outrage and people picketing at stores and whatever else. So that's something I wanted to whine about. Another one is this was funny. So the other day, Apple sent out an announcement, an invitation for an event coming up next week. I think it's the 7th. I'm not sure exactly what day it was, but it's basically the iPad 3 announcement. That's what everybody thinks. The picture on the invitation looks an awful lot like an iPad, so I think there's a pretty good bet it's going to be the new iPad. And they sent out these invitations. The moment they sent them out was right in the middle of Eric Schmidt's keynote presentation at Mobile World Congress. And I don't think that was any coincidence. I think they did that on purpose. And several people that were there, press people, have admitted that distracted them, and they had to start writing about it quickly to stay ahead of the curve and get their blog post out that the invitations had gone out. And I think Apple basically flipped the bird to Google by doing that, and I just found that amusing, and I like that. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about today is the Microsoft Connect device. And I have a good friend who he just started working in the Windows division for Connect. That's right, Microsoft isn't just developing this product for games, where it's been very popular, very cool device. I think it's okay. I don't think it's that great. A lot of people love it, and it's great, and whatever. But the Windows, they're starting to put this thing on Windows, which I don't understand. What, are we going to all be sitting in front of our computers going like this for Connect? Change Windows. Are we going to be typing like this? I don't know. I can't see a whole office of people sitting in front of their computers doing this, but hey, maybe that's the future. They're also trying to put this thing on everything they can possibly think of. And my friend sent me a link to a demo that Microsoft did where they've put this Connect device on shopping carts. Yeah, that's right. Grocery store shopping carts are going to have a Connect device on them. And they started off this demo by showing that these shopping carts you don't have to push them, they're going to follow you. The Connect device is going to see you and latch onto you, and it's going to follow you around the store while you put your stuff in the cart. Okay, that sounds like a disaster waiting to happen to me. But start of the demo, this shopping cart follows the guy 2 feet and stops. Can't decide where to go, so he just kind of moves on with the demo. I thought that was funny. Typical Microsoft demo. And the other thing is they weren't even in a grocery store showing this thing off. They were in some studio kitchen somewhere. And they had like 5 items from a grocery store on the counter that they were going to use to demo this thing. So the Connect thing is attached to the where the seat is on the shopping cart. Looks like a normal shopping cart. There's a big LCD screen right underneath the Connect bar. And there's a scanner in the bottom of the shopping cart. And you can supposedly upload your shopping list and your preferences and things maybe you're even allergic to onto this device, and it will recognize you as who you are, and it will be able to help you shop. Mark off your list as you go, warn you if you've got a product that you're not supposed to have, like a non-gluten-free spaghetti thing. That's what they used as an example. It warned this person, hey, that spaghetti's not gluten-free, you're allergic, get the other product. And so they did. And they scanned these things in. It just boggles the mind why Microsoft shows these things, shows their products like 2 years before they're going to come out, what they're working on. It's not even appropriate to say that they're half-baked. They haven't even put the thing in the oven yet. It's still dough. They haven't even put like the eggs in the dough. They don't even know what the ingredients are. They're just messing around with stuff. They've got wires poking out everywhere. Who knows? Anyway, I don't know why they do that. I like other companies like Apple, for example, that when their product's ready, they tell you and then they sell it. For the most part. There are some, examples where that's some exceptions to that rule. But that's what I like, is they're not going to show me something and then 2 years later, I'm waiting for it, and it's a totally different product, and it doesn't do what it originally was going to do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. drives me crazy that pretty much every company out there does stuff like that. This Connect thing, I just see all kinds of problems with it. This cart must cost thousands of dollars. How are they going to manage that? You can't have these shopping carts being taken out in the parking lot. I just had a vision of all these shopping carts following people to their cars. That's a little creepy, I think. Anyway, you're not going to put these things in the shopping cart pen out in the middle of the parking lot. They're going to disappear before you can even turn around. It's like parking your Beamer in a bad neighborhood and you turn around and the hubcaps are gone or the wheels are gone and it's up on blocks or whatever those funny things are we see in movies. I don't know if that actually happens, but I can imagine maybe it does. Anyway, the other thing about this thing, they're going to have to change this, is they put the scanner in the bottom of the cart. I don't know about you, but when I go shopping, I fill my cart full of stuff. How are you going to have a scanner in the bottom of the cart? And what, you're going to have to keep a hole there so that you can scan your products? It didn't make sense to me why they didn't put it up with the other electronics at the top with the Connect bar. How come the Connect can't scan barcodes? Is that not possible? How could they not add that to the Connect easily? Or add another sensor onto the Connect bar that can scan, and you just wave your products in front of that and it scans them. I think that was kind of a no-brainer. But for some reason they didn't do that. They thought it would be smart to put it in the bottom of the cart where you're going to place your items. Yeah, if you're only scanning 5 things, sure, that's great, but that's kind of silly. Anyway, that's my whine about that, and we'll probably never hear any more about it. It's like a Jetsons thing. It may sound kind of cool, but if you think about it a little bit more, which they should be doing, it doesn't really fly, maybe. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll have a shopping cart follow me around the store in a few years. Anyway, so it's my first episode of the Whiny Tech Guy. Sorry if I bored you. If you didn't make it this far, I guess you won't know. But thanks for tuning in. I will be doing new videos every Wednesday, hopefully. And I want to get a library of these things and try and get better at doing them. I'm not a great actor or speaker, so I'm sorry about that. Hopefully maybe I can bring in a little bit of humor, maybe some props, or I don't even know. Maybe I'll show you my dog sometime, you know. I know some people that do that on their videos. It's kind of funny. Anyway, episode 1, March 1st, 2012, from the Whiny Tech Guy. Goodbye.